Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to a new quality bedtime stories with Jay and Benjamin. Earlier, I read the prologue and the first chapter of my freshman novel, Down in the Dirty. If you've been following thus far, then you will be anticipating the enjoyment of chapters 2, 3, and 4 for the evening. But first, let's get settled and unwind by pouring a relaxing drink, slipping into something comfortable, and finding a nice, comfortable resting spot. Ladies, get your glass of Moscato, your Ciroc, your Zinfandel, your apple martini, your Grey Goose, or whatever your preferred drink is. Fellas, get your Grand Cru, get your VSOP, Remy, your Hennessy, or whatever your preferred drink in as we begin. Chapter 2 of Down in the Dirty. The Taj Mahal in Durham was the place to be on Sunday night, especially if you wanted to be where all the moneymakers and some of the South's best bred females were. As usual, the club was jam-packed. Men and women were wall to wall. Everybody who was somebody was in the house, from athletes and entertainers to hustlers and gangsters, not to mention the low-budget and high-maintenance chicks. The club could have been a duplicate for the infamous tunnel in Manhattan on Sunday nights. Everywhere you turned, there were people flossing Prada, Gucci, Fendi, Coogee, Iceberg, Christian Dior, Timberlands, Air Force Ones, Gators, and even Ostrich. Between all the platinum and ice that was being worn, the club was lit up like the Hollywood billboard. As the girls all slid towards the bar with the intentions of getting their drink on, Desiree took a quick scan of the crowded club. Her gaze was skipping from table to table. She pretty much had an idea who was who and what was what by now. She noticed people sitting at the first couple of tables. Dudes rocked iced out white gold chains. Fake platinum wannabes they were considered in her eyes. Others chipped in to cop a bottle or two of Cristal and Moet. They had beer money with champagne taste, she thought. The next few tables were the brothers who looked as though they had spent their entire stash on jewels and the 4 bottles that sat before them. Desiree continued her evaluation of who was really balling and who was really fronting. Her gaze landed on the VIP section. It was apparent to her who the true #1 stunners were in the house. Bingo, she uttered under her breath. These were the brothers who had official big boy status platinum and diamonds on, with buggy-eye headlights in their ears and below 0-degree wrists. They were the ones with their assorted drinks like Belvedere, Armadale, and Hennessy by the gallons, the yellow bottles of Cristal and Moet at their tables, and throngs of females hovering around them. Any female with half of an eye could see those were the guys to cut into, and Desiree had 2 perfectly good ones. Although there were several groups lingering, Desiree saw no possible threats. She didn't think any of the women could stand next to her and her squad. She and her crew were indeed the hottest chicks in the spot that night, she thought. Sipping on the Absolute and cranberry juice Tasha had passed her, Desiree was caught up in figuring out the best approach to make their way over to the VIP section. Her train of thought was broken when she noticed one of the guys signaling for her. No, he ain't, she thought. She didn't care who he was, or who he thought he was, or how much money he probably had. Nobody signaled for her with his hand like some traffic cop. There was no way she was going to go over there so he'd think she was just some average chick clucking for the night. She signaled for him to come over to her. A grin came across his face. He stared at Desiree for a minute, leaned over to whisper something into one of his boys' ears, then got up. Des, you see that fine-ass nigga coming over here? Tasha said, trying to sound and look inconspicuous. Chill, Desiree mumbled. Work your shit, bitch, Keisha said with her back to them, not even bothering to turn around. Pam didn't utter a word. She was too busy ordering her third drink. Sup, ladies? The dude spoke after walking up on Desiree. At first sight, Desiree rated him fine as hell, but she tried not to get caught up into looks because she figured all money looked the same. However, she couldn't help but admire him because lately, the guys with the money have been looking like trolls and monkeys. This guy was light-skinned with deep brown eyes, dimples, nice teeth, a low-cut hair style, and he was short and stocky like he worked out. Probably been to jail before, she thought. What's up with you? She asked back. Nah, I was just over there trying to enjoy myself when I seen you. I figured I'd call you over so we can enjoy ourselves together, but you shot me down and made me walk over here. You sound like you mad you had to walk over here. Nah, not at all, ma. It was definitely worth the walk. Desiree had to smile, because just like the rest of them, this nigga thought he was smooth with his and slick with the tongue. Why didn't you come over there when I asked you, though? He asked. Cuz it looked to me like you had enough groupies over there occupying your space, and I'm far from a groupie, sweetheart. He laughed. Alright, I respect that. But if you would have came over, it would have been all about you. Because them shorties wasn't doing nothing but drinking up all me and my people's shit. I bet, Desiree said, giving him attitude. Forget that back there, though. I'm over here now, so what's good? What you trying to get into for the night? Desiree couldn't believe how cocky he was, pressing her like he knew he was going to get some after just 5 minutes of conversation. I ain't trying to get into nothing besides my bed after I leave here and get something to eat from the Waffle House, she told him, snapping her neck. Nah, I didn't mean it like that, shorty. I was just asking because I was trying to see you again, either later or another day. As a matter of fact, let's start over. My name's Stacks. What's yours? Desiree. Nice to meet you, Desiree. You too, she replied dryly. Who you with? I mean, I know you ain't with your man, because any nigga that'll leave something as hot as you by yourself is either crazy, careless, or both. Stacks made Desiree smile again, but not to the point that she let down her guard. You're right. I ain't here with my man, and I don't have a man either, which you should have just come out and asked rather than beating around the bush. I'm here with my girls. This is my girl Taj and her sister Pam, and that's my girl Keisha, she said, pointing to each of them. On cue, all of them hit him with their $1 million smiles. They had been through this type of scene thousands of times with one another. Nice to meet you, ladies, Stacks replied, observing the other 3 women. Those jokers over there, that's my brother, Styles, with the blue Yankee fitted, and my man Don, and he next to him. Like I said before, we were over there just sipping on something. The 4 of you are welcome to come through and join us if you want. Both Tasha and Pam looked like they were ready to take him up on his offer, but before they got the chance, Desiree spoke up. No thank you. Like I said, it looks like you and your peoples have enough groupies over there occupying your space, and we're not groupies. We're not last choice, sweetheart, always first. Shorty, real talk, I told you it wasn't even like that, but since you put it that way, where I come from, I always say the best for last. Desiree gave credit when credit was due. He was definitely smooth with his